And when I say illness, it truly is an illness. We've got to let our society, our communities, our tribes know mental health, which I'm learning we need to start saying brain health. We have our physical health, correct? I love it that it's 988 today. We got that activated. Everyone knows to call 911. Oh my gosh, he broke his leg. There's a bad car wreck. Call 911, right? Now, someone's in a psychosis, very bad brain health issue, we can call 988. Thank you, Jesus, for Congress passing that. Yes. But again, our brain health is exactly the same as our physical health because the brain is an organ of the body, just like your heart, your liver, and your lungs. My mom did die of stage 4 lung cancer at the age of 69 because she smoked 4 packs of cigarettes a day. Okay? So yeah, we don't chastise grandma because she died of lung cancer, but for some reason, when someone dies of a brain health issue, oh, well, that kid was da-da-da-da. That's not right and that's not fair to that person and to the family left behind. That final act of my son taking his life did not define who he was. This is who he was. He was a beautiful, loving, fun-filled, indubitably human being. But he also suffered with a disease of his brain. We've got to stop the stigma of this topic. We've got to start talking openly and honestly about this. There are people currently out there that are struggling. Do you know how scary that is to really tell somebody? You know, yeah, I'm suicidal. That's scary. Because people are like, what's going to happen? Are they going to call the cops? Like, am I going to be taken in a straitjacket? Am I going to lose my job? Is my family going to accept me? Are they going to ostracize me? Like, truly, what's going to happen? Us as helpers, I find this so ironic. Us as helpers, like, no, you just need to tell me. Really? If you yourself have never been truly depressed, you need to sit back and put yourself in that person's shoes and realize how scary that is to come right out and say, yeah, I'm having thoughts of taking my own life. So we need to stop that on the people that are currently struggling, sit with them, and be a lot more kind, compassionate, caring human beings with them. Put yourself in their shoes and have that empathy for them. Not sympathy, don't feel bad for them. Empathy. Put yourself where they're at. Next. All right, more senior pictures. Always a class clown, he hid his struggle with humor. Numerous life events started him on his downward spiral from April of 2008 to March of 2009. He loves Superman. I'm telling you what, getting him potty trained, that was the best thing he ever did. Get him some Superman underpants, and man, he was done. It was awesome. And his whole life, he just loves Superman. He was a captain of the football team. This kid's only like 5'10", maybe 170 dripping wet. He thought he was 6'5", 300 pounds. Man, he was throwing people around on the field. He thought he was Superman. But he struggled. He struggled with his brain health. So like I said, my mom did pass April of 2008. That was the start of it. So us as Native people, we're really close with our families, aren't we? Hopefully, like you said, Michael, that is the key, is to have that family closeness. At my mom's funeral, this was the very first grandparent that my son had ever lost. He goes, Mom, this sucks. He goes, yeah, I know. Well, he called me Ma all the time. Ma, mi madre, muder. He'd never call me Mom. He's always like, Ma. Hey, Ma, yeah. This sucks. I go, I know. I said, but it's okay. She's with Creator. We're going to see her again. It's all good. He goes, no, you don't get it. He goes, I'm never watching another grandparent die. And I said, well, what do you mean by that? And he'd never answer me. So, second thing that was going on, I showed you the picture of my daughter. She's 2 years older than him. She was getting married December of '08 to a guy that was in the military. And she was going to be moving from Nebraska down to Fort Bragg, North Carolina. It's not that my son didn't like his future brother-in-law. Loved him. They played football together. Loved this kid. But he goes, well, okay, so like, when she gets married, why does she have to change her name? I go, well, that's just what girls do. Some girls like change their name. So our last name is Wolff. And the boy that she was marrying, his last name is Man. And I tease my daughter all the time and say, you gotta hyphenate your name. Wolfman. Mom, that's not funny. I go, it's hilarious. I said, and then when you have your firstborn son, you gotta call him Jack. She goes, what? I go, Wolfman Jack. Okay, the older ones in here understand that. Yeah. You guys get it. She goes, Mom, you're really not funny. I go, yeah, I am. It's awesome. I said, Wolfman. She goes, no, not gonna happen. So, Grandma dies. Sister's getting married and moving away. He had a really close group of friends, about 8 boys, super tight from preschool. All of them are filling out their FAFSAs, going off to college their senior year. He refused to fill out that thing. I go, what are you doing? All these kids are like uber smart. I said he got his good looks from Mama, but he did get his brain from his dad. Because I'm more street smart than I am book smart. I feel like I got a little more common sense. But he hated the idea that his close group of friends were leaving. So you talked about it before, our connections, our relationships. He was losing that. He felt like he was losing that because he goes, well, why can't everybody just go to Northeast Community College right there in town? I go, no, these kids are smart. I mean, one went to Chicago, one went to New York, one went down to Texas, one went to the University of Nebraska. He hated it that his close group of buddies were leaving, what he thought was leaving him. The last kicker on his plate, he had a very serious girlfriend his senior year, thought she was the one, thought that they were going to get married, but she watched his mental health decline. Why she chose Valentine's Day to break up with him, I have no idea. He went off the charts, took a baseball bat, caused $5,000 worth of damage to her car, begged and pleaded that I didn't tell my husband at the time, paid these people off. Hindsight being 20/20, I should have had him arrested. Then he probably could have gotten the assessment and true diagnosis that he needed. He might still be in a mental institution somewhere today where I could go hug him and kiss him, tell him a dirty joke. But I didn't do that. Because of that shame and that guilt. We gotta hide this. Nobody needs to find out about it. 2 weeks later, he's dead. So please understand, there's never one reason or one person ever to blame when someone dies by suicide. It's always a combination of things that add up. Okay, what do we do as adults when life starts piling on us? What are our coping skills? Do we have good coping skills, or do some people are like, all right, let's just hit the bar, we'll go to the casino, we'll start gambling it all, we'll start drinking it up, let's get a little meth, get some other stuff going on, right? A lot of us don't have very good coping skills. We know the bad ones. What are some good coping skills? Anybody?
Exercise.
Exercise.
My faith.
Faith. What else?
Music.
Music. What else?
Art.
Art.
Dancing.
Dancing.
Reading.
Reading.
Netflix.
Netflix, yay!
Talking.
Talking. Do we encourage healthy coping skills to our youth?
We try.
We try. But what do? Do they get absorbed in this too much? Well, I can find my peeps on here. I got support here. No. Healthy coping skills without electronics. Sorry, Netflix. We've got to encourage those good, healthy coping skills because life can dump on us, can it? Are you kidding me? The gas prices now? My 401k is getting drained. Life's tough. But how do we deal with it? He wasn't dealing well at all. He already had anxiety his whole life. And then pile this on top of it. Next slide. So here's another one, piece of the puzzle. This was homecoming week. Again, love getting dressed up. Having a concussion that fall during football season truly changes personality. Who knows about concussions? What about it?
I know with football too, like the CTE and the brain damage, and it changes everything about your brain. Especially if you have a concussion, then get another one on top of it, it can really spiral things.
Have you guys seen the movie Concussion with Will Smith in it? The true life story of the brain surgeon. Highly recommend that. If you really don't understand concussions, watch that movie on Netflix. What
is it?
It's called Concussion.
Okay, just name.
Concussion with Will Smith in it. Yes.
Another good one is the story of Aaron Hernandez.
The story of Aaron Hernandez. All about concussions?
Yeah, and then he killed people and.
So we're all aware of the NFL players, right? That they homicide, suicide. A lot. They talk about that in that movie Concussion with Will Smith. So again, my son was captain of the football team. He had one concussion his junior year, but wow, that second concussion his senior year, whew, that kid hit him so hard. He laid on the field for 5 minutes. You talk about a mama trying to jump a fence to get on the field fast. All of his friends are like, don't do it, Mrs. Wolf. I'm like, I gotta get out there. They're like, he'll hate you. He'll hate you. Don't go out there. I'm like, somebody get the ambulance. He's not moving. That second concussion changed his personality from Robin Williams to the most angry, pissed off kid you're ever gonna see. Hated life, woke up angry, went to sleep angry. Nothing was right, nothing was good. So that brain is sitting in our skull, right? I call it, it's our egg. Our egg is kind of floating in our skull. Now a concussion, I had to learn about this, truly depends on how you hit your head. Are you hitting your head like if you're driving a car, do you hit against the driver's side? Is it back against the headrest? Are you hitting the right side of your head, or are you going straight forward? So the frontal lobe of the brain is not fully developed till the age of what?
25.
27 now. Okay, who in here is 27 and younger? I'm going to pick on you. Oh, God bless. There's a couple of you. God bless you. You're not quite fully developed yet, okay? So the cognitive thinking, that frontal lobe of the brain, that decision making. So if I do this, this is going to happen. If I do this, this is going to happen. That's why our teenagers are so impulsive. That part of the brain is not fully developed yet. Now, you throw an actual diagnosed illness on that, and you throw concussion on that, you're looking at a nasty storm coming. So it truly depends on how you hit your head and the severity of it. But yeah, that little brain, that can get scrambled really easily. So like I said, this was homecoming week. He won each, there was the 50s and then the 60s, and yeah, he was rocking it. Next. Then there was the old man days and then the pirate days. Since losing my son, I have educated myself on prevention, intervention, and postvention. Postvention meaning after the death by suicide. concerning the topic of suicide, warning signs, behavioral clues, situational clues, truly learning what this disease of depression was that killed my son. I had to educate myself because I'm like, why am I still here? Are you kidding me as a mom? Why do I have to be on this turtle island without my kid? But again, Creator, there's always a reason why each and every one of us are here. He blessed me with a huge big voice that I never need a microphone. He blessed me with that. And then he blessed me with the education to learn what is this and to bring me to Michigan today. There's a reason why things happen. I always asked, you got to ask that question why. I played that song for you earlier, Superman. Have you guys ever seen him on YouTube? Superman, S-U-P-A-M-A-N. He's a Native American that does rap and traditional music together. He's wonderful. And he's got a song called Why. People left behind are going to ask that question, why? Why did I lose my kid? Why me? Why? Why do I have to walk the rest of my life? I never saw him graduate high school. I never got to see him go to college. Will never have a mother-son dance at his wedding, and I will never have grandkids. Why? Why me? Why do I have to walk this journey? What did I do so horrible in life that this happened? That really got in my head, that ex-husband of mine, yeah, you're to blame. But I'm not. No one is ever to blame. Things happen in life. Life is very short. We need to make the most of each and every day. You are worthy. You are worthy. Each and every one of you in here are worthy. You are worthy. Creator brought you here for a reason. I wish my son would have gotten the help that he needed, but like I said, people that struggle with suicidal ideation, they have to take part in their wellness journey. Diabetes is rampant amongst our Native people, isn't it? What happens if you don't take your insulin and eat right and exercise?
Kills you.
What?
It kills you.
You can go blind, you can lose your digits, you can die from it, can't you? So that's a physical condition, diabetes. There is no cure for it though, is there? There is no cure for a diagnosed mental health disease either. But if you manage it correctly, you can live a really good life. Does anyone know who Kevin Hines is? Who is Kevin Hines?
He's a guy who jumped off the Golden Gate Bridge.
He's a gentleman that jumped off the Golden Gate Bridge and lived, and he tells his story, how he currently lives with bipolar. He has institutionalized himself 7 to 8 different times, and he lives with it, but he manages it. My nonprofit that I have in Nebraska, we had the honor of having Kevin twice. He's amazing. He's so inspirational. But he tells you, yeah, I know to recognize when I don't get enough sleep, I don't eat right, I don't exercise. He gets in a manic state and he has to institutionalize himself. But he's aware of it. He goes, I take my meds. Sleep is a big one. Do you guys understand what sleep deprivation can do to a person? You do.
Yes, I'm very insomniac.
I had to learn about the importance of sleep also after losing my son. With that concussion, sleep is so important. I do this at every training. Who in here got 8 hours of sleep last night? Raise your hand. 1, 2, awesome. Who in here got 7 hours of sleep? Oh, 1. Who in here got 6 hours of sleep? Okay, we're kind of on the edge. Who got 5? Who got 4? Oh, people. 3. Oh, honey. 2. And maybe just an hour of sleep. Or you're still up from last night. Yeah? Okay, the reason I bring up sleep is so vital to our brain health. It's vital. We have to get enough sleep, hours of sleep, to get in that deep, deep REM sleep. Because when you get in that REM sleep, that gives your body a chance to heal from anything. So again, because of my PTSD from finding my son, I was not sleeping. So I had to get on a low-dose antidepressant for a while, but then I weaned myself off of it because we were talking traditional medicine, right? Ugh, I can't stand pills. I can't stand pills. Let's find some traditional things to help me. So I found some traditional things. Oh, it's amazing. So I make it a practice every night. I smudge, I meditate, and I shut this thing off an hour before I go to bed. Don't look at this. Get some of that flute music going. Calm yourself. The more you calm yourself and get centered, that sleep will come. Because otherwise your little squirrel is running on overtime. This poor little thing, he's just, we do that, don't we? We're just overthink, like, oh my gosh, what's tomorrow gonna be? I got this thing going on, and is it gonna set up right? And the electronics, right? I know that's what you did last night. I know that's what you did. Because I do it too when I have to put up things. But you've got to learn to slow down. You've got to learn to get that sleep. You've got, so, we teach our kids bedtimes. Why is bedtime so important for our kiddos? We used to have routines, right? What I did with my kids, bath time, jammies, you read a book. We're purposely trying to get them to calm down to get that nice sleep. But again, do we take care of ourselves very well as adults? No, it's like, okay, I want a warm bath, and I want a story, and I want my jammies, right? We gotta learn to take care of ourselves better. Next slide. Okay, don't be shocked. This isn't when he killed himself. He's playing Jesus in a church play. Zeb played Jesus in the Passion Play at church all 4 years. Again, he was Robin Williams. He went to state drama and state speech and won numerous awards. This kid could act. He was amazing playing Jesus in a Passion Play. I'm adamant to leave a legacy of hope and healing after losing my son to suicide. My mission in life now is to spread awareness and education about brain health and suicide. You're not alone in this grief at all. In the grief journey, you can survive a death by suicide in your life, but you can also thrive. My son is always with me and is at peace now. And please know, if you have lost a loved one, they're with you always. You just have to call their name. And they're always right here. They're always with you, and they want to support you. But you have to be adamant and say their name.